The movie opens with Eggsy, also known as Galahad, exiting the Kingsman tailor shop on Savile Row in London. He is suddenly confronted by former Kingsman recruit-turned-enemy, Charlie Hesketh. Charlie threatens Eggsy with a gun and forces him into a Kingsman taxi while his accomplices follow close behind. Inside the cab, a fierce fight ensues. Charlie, with a mechanical right arm, tries to overpower Eggsy, who attempts to use the poison blade hidden in his shoe. Charlie severs the blade, which accidentally kills the cab driver. In the chaos, Eggsy crashes the cab, sending Charlie flying through the windshield and ripping off his mechanical arm. With Merlin's guidance, Eggsy commandeers the cab and escapes from the goons. Merlin directs him to Hyde Park, where Eggsy launches 3 missiles that eliminate the pursuers. To avoid the police, Eggsy drives the cab into a lake, which leads into the sewers. Needing to get to a dinner, Eggsy is told by Merlin that the only fast way out is through raw sewage. Reluctantly, Eggsy jumps in. Meanwhile, Charlie's detached robotic arm hacks the cab's system, leaking critical information on all Kingsman agents. Eggsy arrives home to his Swedish girlfriend, Princess Tilda. They are joined by his friends Brandon, Liam, and Jamal to celebrate Brandon's birthday. As Eggsy plans to meet Tilda's royal parents the next evening, he asks Brandon to dog-sit JB, his pug. Brandon agrees. In a remote jungle area in Cambodia named Poppyland, a 1950s-style community is run by American drug lord Poppy Adams. She reveals that her empire earns vast profits by lacing popular drugs, like weed, cocaine, and heroin, with her own supply. At her diner, she confronts associates Charles and Angel. Discovering Charles has been betraying her, she has robot dogs maul him and forces Angel to throw him into a meat grinder. As a reward for his loyalty, Angel undergoes a makeover. His fingerprints are burned off, teeth ground down, and he's branded with a golden circular tattoo. As a final test, Poppy serves him a burger made from Charles' remains, which Angel eats out of fear. Back in London, Eggsy meets with Roxy, Lancelot, and the new Arthur. They discuss Charlie's affiliation with the Golden Circle, Poppy's organization, as identified by his tattoo. That evening, Eggsy dines with Princess Tilda's parents, the King and Queen of Sweden. The King initially disapproves, but warms up when Eggsy answers his questions perfectly, thanks to Roxy feeding him info via smart glasses. Eggsy acknowledges Roxy's help, calling her the best. Later, Brandon goes to Eggsy's home to look after JB and accidentally activates a hand grenade disguised as a lighter. Eggsy, seeing this through his smart glasses, yells at Brandon to disarm it, startling the King at dinner. Brandon complies, but moments later, missiles rain down, destroying Kingsman HQ and killing Brandon, JB, Roxy, Arthur, and all other Kingsman agents. Eggsy learns of the tragedy, while Poppy celebrates her victory, presenting Charlie with a new mechanical arm. Eggsy visits the wrecked Kingsman HQ and encounters Merlin. They briefly suspect each other of betrayal, but soon realize they're both innocent. Enacting the Doomsday Protocol, they find a whiskey bottle labeled "Distilled in Kentucky," with the Kingsman logo hidden in the letter K. They decide to travel to Kentucky. At a distillery in Kentucky, Eggsy and Merlin are discovered by Agent Tequila of the Statesman, Kingsman's American counterpart. Mistaking them for enemies, Tequila knocks out Merlin and tranquilizes Eggsy. When they awake, Tequila interrogates them until Ginger Ale, a Statesman tech expert, confirms their identities. Tequila apologizes and reveals a shocking truth. Harry Hart, once thought dead, is alive. However, Harry has no memory of his past or the Kingsman due to retrograde amnesia. Ginger explains that they saved him with nanotechnology called Alpha Gel. Eggsy and Merlin meet the Statesman leader, Champagne, or Champ, and Agent Whiskey. As Ginger runs tech support, similar to Merlin, they all gather to learn more about the Golden Circle. They track Charlie's ex-girlfriend Clara to the Glastonbury Music Festival, suspecting she's their link to the organization. Meanwhile, in Poppyland, Elton John is shown imprisoned and forced to perform. He has developed a blue-veined rash from Poppy's drugs, like Angel, who is soon killed by Poppy's robot dogs. Tequila, now infected with the rash, is sidelined. At the festival, Eggsy and Whiskey go undercover to plant a condom-shaped tracking device on Clara. Eggsy calls Tilda for permission to sleep with Clara for the mission's sake. Tilda disapproves and cuts the call. Eggsy proceeds, but after spotting the tattoo on Clara's back, plants the tracker and leaves. Back at HQ, Merlin and Ginger try to restore Harry's memory by recreating past traumatic events. They flood his room, mirroring Kingsman training, but pull back before he drowns. Eggsy later brings a puppy resembling Mr. Pickle, Harry's old dog, and pretends to shoot it. This successfully triggers Harry's memory. With Harry's memory back, the trio meets Whiskey at a bar. Harry attempts to recreate his iconic pub fight, but fails due to coordination issues. Whiskey finishes the fight using his lasso and whip. Then Poppy broadcasts a message to the world, revealing that she's laced all recreational drugs with a deadly virus. The symptoms include a blue rash, wild dancing, paralysis, and death by brain hemorrhage. She demonstrates the antidote on Elton John and demands full immunity in exchange for it. The U.S. president appears unmoved, intending to let drug users die. His chief of staff, Fox, and General McCoy express concern. Meanwhile, Eggsy, Harry, and Whiskey head to a poppy facility in Italy to retrieve the antidote for tequila. Eggsy steals a vial, but they're discovered by Charlie and Clara. After a chase and escape, Charlie sabotages their Skyway gondola. Eggsy and Whiskey crash into a retirement home. While hiding, Poppy's goons attack. Whiskey accidentally destroys the antidote, then kills the attackers. Harry, suspicious, shoots Whiskey in the head, believing he's a traitor. Eggsy revives him with alpha gel. Charlie later blows up the antidote factory, killing Clara. Their only lead is a delivery contact bound for Singapore. Eggsy FaceTimes Tilda and sees that she's infected. She reaches the paralysis stage, and Eggsy promises to save her. The U.S. president quarantines all infected, including Fox. Liam is shown suffering from drug use, leaving Jamal distraught. Eggsy, Harry, and Merlin head to Poppyland. Eggsy steps on a landmine, but Merlin sacrifices himself by taking his place and detonating it, singing "Take Me Home, Country Roads" before dying. Eggsy and Harry watch in horror but move on. Back in HQ, Ginger revives Whiskey with a photo of his late wife. Whiskey reveals his vendetta against drug users stems from her being killed in a robbery by addicts. Eggsy and Harry infiltrate Poppyland, leading to a massive shootout. Elton helps fight in flamboyant fashion. Charlie and Eggsy duel, ending with Eggsy ripping off his arm and snapping his neck after listing the lives they ruined. Harry destroys the last robot dog by pouring molten gold on it. Confronting Poppy, Eggsy injects her with her own tainted heroin, accelerating its effect. She reveals the antidote password, "Viva Las Vegan," before dying. As Harry inputs the code, Whiskey attacks, revealing he was acting alone. Eggsy and Harry fight him, ultimately killing him in the meat grinder. Harry activates the code, releasing the antidote globally. Tildy, Liam, and others are cured. The corrupt president is impeached for his genocidal plans. Champ announces the Statesman's acquisition of a Scottish distillery to help rebuild Kingsman. Since there can't be two Galahads, Ginger is voted in as the new agent. Eggsy and Tilda marry in a royal ceremony, attended by friends, family, and Harry. The final scene shows Agent Tequila arriving at the Kingsman tailor shop in London. And that wraps up Kingsman, the Golden Circle. From explosive action to emotional moments and outrageous gadgets, this sequel takes the spy genre to stylish new heights. If you enjoyed this detailed recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a breakdown of your favorite films. Let us know in the comments which movie you want us to dissect next. Scene by scene, twist by twist. Until then, stay tuned.